Sahana bhavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sah Viryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. As we journey in this Ashtavakra Gita, the next chapter, which is a chapter consisting of 100 shlokas, is a chapter which captures all the essence of all the chapters so far that we have studied, and also continues to elaborate on the qualities of a Brahmagyani, a Jivan Mukta, how he behaves, how he deals with situations in life, what is his disposition towards the world and things around, and how, despite all the changing circumstances in and around, he remains steady, established in the state of the self. This state is not very easy to come by, yet it is the easiest thing to achieve. That's the irony of it. Because the one who truly believes in this self, the self reveals itself to such a person. Yamai Vesha Vrunute Tena Labhyo. Tasyaisha Atma Vivrute Tanum Swam, it is said in Kathopanishad. That the one whom this Atma becomes happy with, it reveals itself to that person. Why it becomes happy and it reveals itself? Because this person wants God and nothing else. Therefore, God reveals himself to such a person. People who want God and also some bit of world, they do not get the world or the God. They are in between Trishanku Swarga that I always talk about. They're neither here nor there because they are desirous of the world at some point in time and God at another point in time. So they don't get both. They only fool themselves by thinking that they will get both somehow, but they get neither. So Jivan Mukti is the idea that you have no desires left in you. Whatsoever you do in this world, it is driven by that inspiration of the divine. That is not because of your thought or your speech or your actions. So you are free from all these things because you have no desire for anything. Yet you engage in the world as per the divine destiny and you do not feel the doership and joyship, the emotions that come with it, both positive and negative. That is the way of the Jnani, of a Jivan Mukta. So this chapter will continue to elaborate on that. In Taittiriya Upanishad, the definition of a Brahman, definition of a person who has attained Brahma Jnana has been given. It is said, Brahma vidapnoti param tadesha abhyukta satyam jnanam anantam brahma. The one who has attained Brahman, Brahma vidapnoti param, has attained the highest. There is nothing more to be attained. All his life has been fulfilled. There are no more desires to be fulfilled. He has attained the highest. And what is stated then by such a person? He says, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam Brahma. These are the three adjectives or definitions of Brahman. Actually, Brahman cannot be described in words. That is the paradox. But then, the closest that you can get to that is this Satyam. It always is, it was, and it will be. It doesn't change with time, place, and situations. Our bodies change, our minds change, our emotions change, the situations around us change, the people change, the world itself changes. So none of this is Brahman. There is something deeper than that which does not change, and that is the Satyam, which has an independent existence. Like gold has an independent existence, ornaments have a dependent existence on the gold. So this Satyam that Brahmavida talks about is that which is unchanging. Therefore, it is called truth because untruth changes. You know, if you lie once, you have to cover it up by lying 100 times more. But truth is the same. You don't have to change it. Likewise, this truth of self is always the same. On that, there are superimpositions of papa, punya, sukha, dukkha, labha, nashta, jaya, ajaya. All these dualities are superimposed on it. It is free of all these things, though it is the reason why you experience the duality, but it remains unaffected by the duality. That is the definition of Satyam. Then Jnanam It is the very embodiment of knowledge, pure awareness. What is knowledge of this self? What is this awareness of the self? It is the experience that you are that. See, if you want to experience that you are alive, what is the way you should experience? Should you go to the hospital and tell the doctor, check if I am alive or not? That would be foolish. He'll say, you are alive, that's why you walked all the way till here. And so you don't need another proof. You are alive by being alive. You don't need a echo or a ECG or anything else to prove that you are alive. Likewise, jnana, this pure awareness is aware of itself. It does not need any support to be aware of itself. Then why are we not aware of our divinity? Why are we entangled in all this body mind? This is some kind of a forgetfulness that we have. Over lifetimes, we have forgotten who we truly are. Like many people with dementia forget who they are. So we are also undergoing some kind of a worldly dementia where we forget who we truly are. And somebody has to remind us again and again. And we forget again. Next morning we wake up, we forget everything again. There was a nice story where the wife keeps forgetting everything. So every day the husband has to wake up and remind her who she is and that he is the husband and this is her family. And this goes on and on and on. So, this forgetfulness of lifetimes is the reason why we don't remember that we are divine. And we are going to the guru or to God or to temples like a person who's alive is going to the doctor to find out if he's alive. That is the paradox of the whole thing. So, Jnanam, it is aware that it is divine by being divine, not by knowing truth a third party with some other way, another process. There is no process to it. Then what is all these sadhana, spiritual exercises, remembering shlokas, and attending satsangs? This is like you're trying to remind the person suffering with forgetfulness about who he is. So you show him some pictures, you show him some videos of what happened yesterday, you show him what he has written yesterday, whom we met yesterday. Based on that, he comes to his knowledge or whatever. He comes back with memory comes back and he remembers, yes, yes, I remember yesterday we met these people, I ate this, I did this. So that is the disease that we are suffering from, the Bhavaroga. It makes us forget who we are, and every time we need a reminder. So these scriptures are reminder. Otherwise, we are pure consciousness, pure awareness. We don't need anybody's help to know that we are divine. But because of this lifetimes of forgetfulness, we are to be reminded. And Dharma is Anantam. What is the nature of this? It is infinite. It is forever. So when did it start? When will it end? There is no beginning and end, like a circle. It starts anywhere, it ends anywhere because it's a circle. Likewise, this existence is infinite. It has no beginning, middle, or end. But that will sort of trouble all the scientists and people who will say everything has a beginning, everything has an end. But no, it does not. Okay, universe had a beginning, they say. There was a big bang and all this happened. What was the basic material with which the universe was formed? They will say energy. Energy transformed itself into matter, and that is how gases form, clouds, and then water, and then whatever this whole planetary system. The entire universe with billions and billions of galaxies and stars came into existence. But before that, what existed? Only energy. Energy became matter, is what they say. But where did this energy come from in the beginning? They don't have any answer. They don't have any answer. The only answer they have that energy becomes matter and matter becomes energy. This is the only cycle that we know of. This is the only way we know the universe today. But what are the origins of that energy or the matter, whichever started first? Nobody knows. Why they do not know? Not that science is incapable of knowing it. The very fact that it never had a beginning, therefore it cannot be found to be starting on a certain date or time. It never had a beginning. It always was, is, and will be. The other day, one boy caught me, small boy. How was God born? Everything came out of God, we say. How was God born? And I said, God was born of himself because he's so powerful that he can create himself. First, he argued for some time. But there should be another God to create this God, right? God from God. He said, that's also true. That God also was same, this God also was the same. They were born of themselves. So for some time he thought and thought and thought. I said, because he's very powerful, he can do anything. He can create himself from himself. Anything is possible for God. Then finally he agreed. Otherwise, he was not agreeing to this idea. Because it's very difficult to agree. How can there be no beginning to something? Because we all know that things begin and things end. Seasons begin, seasons end. Body, is born, body dies. Everything that we start ends. So by definition, there is no start to it, therefore there is no end to it. It is anantam. Antam is anta means end. Anantam is no end. Means no beginning also. So wherever you start, you reach there in this self. So this is the nature. Imagine the depth of this understanding. No scripture, no philosophy understands is this way. You go to any scripture around the world, they will believe that God exists and from God everything only originated. At the end, everything will go back to God. But where did God come from? That bearded man sitting up on the clouds, wearing white robes, sitting on a big throne, surrounded by angels. This is the imagination of God. But that God in our scripture is very clear. There is no such one person from whom everything started. It was just energy, consciousness, and eternity that always was. Truth, that is Satyam, Jnanam, awareness, and Anantam, infinity. How much knowledge does it possess? All the knowledge in the world, because everything is made of itself. If you are made of yourself, you know yourself likewise. It knows all the things. How much time does it last? It lasts forever. That knowledge also lasts forever. It has no forgetfulness. And it always exists, was, is, and will be. These are the definitions of Brahman as per our scriptures. And what it says, the Soshnute Kaman Sarvan, he says, the one who realizes Brahman, where in his own heart, not somewhere outside. First realization happens within. Then you see the world without also with that knowledge. Then you see actually everywhere that same Brahman exists. So it says very clearly that that person, what does he do? He says in his own Guhayam Parave Vanna, in the space of his heart, like a cave, that principle is there. And once you turn within and you realize it, you realize that it exists everywhere. And what happens when you realize it? Always we are human beings, we always want to know, so what's in it for me? What will I get out of it if I realize the Brahman? Okay, Brahman is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. He resides in my heart or he resides everywhere. Okay, all that is fine. What will I get out of it? The answer is Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. All the desires of that person are fulfilled. He enjoys all the fulfillment of desires. That sounds very, very interesting because we all are desirous of things. So if we know Brahman, all our desires will be fulfilled. So I can buy a big bungalow, I can go to any country, I can live a lavish life. Truth is that what it means is that you will have no desires left to be fulfilled. That's why all your desires are fulfilled. It's not the other way around. That you come with a huge list of desires, say once I realize Brahman, all these should be fulfilled. The very definition of Brahman that is that there are no desires there. There's no desire. So the idea is that once you realize that self, there are no desires left in you. Therefore, you do not have to enjoy any desires. Therefore, you have enjoyed all the desires, is how it is put. If we tell, our sages are very clever. If they tell, when you realize Brahman, you cannot have any more desires, that doesn't sound very lucrative. But you say, when you realize Brahman, all your desires will be fulfilled at once. That sounds very incentivizing. But what it truly means is the first one, that there won't be any desires left to be fulfilled. Whatever comes by virtue of your destiny or divine decree, you will just accept and move forward. You will not be insistent that this should be done, this should not be done. That idea disappears. Then it sounds boring. Or there is not going to be any excitement then. Let me tell you, more exciting it is than the regular life. Because every turn there is a surprise waiting for you. I don't know what God has planned for you. And that's like you children play that treasure hunt. Queues are there and then you go pick up a queue and then you find another queue and things like that. And that is a great fun, right? Because at every queue you find another queue and that queue leads you to finally the ultimate gift that's hiding somewhere. Likewise, think of life as a nice game of treasure hunt. God has put all these queues everywhere. Next you will go there, next you will meet such a person. From that person you will learn something new. From there you will lead your life in a certain way. Then you will find the next thing and it goes on and on till you realize the self. So it's beautiful. It is like a game that you must play. And who does not like playing a good game? So the Gyani lives like that, like treasure hunt. What comes next, he doesn't know. But he just follows the previous queue and goes to the next one. And in the next queue, he finds the answer to the next queue. And he keeps going on without any desires, without any expectations. He doesn't even know what is waiting at the end. But just for the fun of it, he has a good time playing the game of life without asking for what is at the end, what am I going to get out of it, what is the secret gift that you've hidden. No questions asked. When I was in college, on my birthday, all my roommates had a treasure hunt for me. In in the sense, I had to literally whole day I spent searching for the gift, and they had kept queues in such far off places. In the hostel, literally they made me walk the whole of the hostel, the whole of the institute, the playground, the gardens. I was tired by end of the day. And finally, where was the treasure? It was right in my own room. The gift was there. But queues were such that you have to go all around the world before you find the gifts. So the idea of this life is like that. God has planned something for us. Let's enjoy that plan. Why make another plan of our own? Whatever He's telling, okay, meet such a person, go ahead and do this work, don't do this work. Just follow, and you will have a good life. Our Singapore devotees sing that song, We Will follow you wherever you go. That is the idea of life. Simply follow the cue. Why worry? Why plan yourself? What do you know about what's happening in the future? Just follow. So what to follow? That inspiration that comes from within, that you follow. That is the idea. So Jivan Mukta also works in the world. He also goes through all the motions of the world. There are good times, bad times, favorable, unfavorable times, happy and sometimes sad times also. But he takes it all in his stride. He simply follows. That is how Jivan Mukta's life is so free and happy. There is no burden, there is no effort. So, the chapter 18th will continue to elaborate the qualities of the Jivan Mukta. The first sloka is on page number 87. It says, Ashtavakra Uvacha, Yasya Bodhodaye Tavad, Swapnavad Bhavati Brahmaha, Tasmai Sukhaika Rupaya, Namaha Shantaya Tejase. There is an adoration in this sloka about the self. What a wonderful thing it is. I bow down to that self. It's a way of saying that it is so very beautiful, so amazing, so grand, so very superior that I have to bow down to it. When we meet somebody who is greater than us, what do? We bow our heads in front of such people. Like that, he's bowing down to that self, saying Namaha. To whom? Shantaya, absolute peace. Tejase, absolute effulgence. The nature of the self is absolute peace and effulgence. Effulgence in the sense, it is knowledge. Wisdom is effulgence. Like you only see things when there is light. So, light is the reason why you learn about things around you. Like that, this self effulgence of the Atman is the reason why you experience the whole world. We know about it from the previous chapters. This awareness is the reason why we become aware of everything. So, Tejase and Shantaya. It is peaceful. There is no anxiety, there is no trouble, there is no disturbance, there is absolute steadiness and absolute knowledge. So that is Hatha. He Namaha. Namaha also means no ego. When we bow down in India, we always fold our hands and say Namaskara. What do we do? Five fingers of right, five fingers of left hand, and then the head. All three should go together. These are Karmendriyas and Gyanendriyas. Five Karmendriya, Gyanendriya, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, then Karmendriya, Vag, Pani, Padam, Upastha, Upayu. And then put all the 10 together and then bow your head down, which is the ego, the mind which controls all this. Then we bow down in front of some great one. Like that, here Ashtavakra himself is glorifying the idea of self by saying, I bow down to that self which is peaceful and effulgent and sukhaika rupaya, blissful also. Sukha means here the sukha is not the worldly pleasure. Here's the ultimate joy of being in that state. To that, tasmai sukhaika rupaya namaha, shantaya tejase, the one which is effulgent, the one which is peaceful, the one which is blissful, to that self I bow down. And what happens when you realize the self? He says, Yasya bodhodaye. When you realize the self, bodha udaya means when that knowledge dawns on you, then what happens? Tavat swapnavad bhavati brahmaha. Then what happens? All these things that you see around, all the illusion appears to be like a dream. It doesn't feel real anymore. When does it happen? When the self has, the knowledge of the self has happened to you. You look at the world with different eyes. Your vision changes. And you look at the whole world as a dream, as if everything is happening in a dream. There is only so much importance than you give to the world, not more than that. As I said, we are born to each other in this lifetime. We become relatives, we become friends, we become all kinds of relations in this lifetime. But in the last lifetime, we were not so. The mother must have been the daughter, daughter might be the father, father might be the husband, husband might be the son. If only we remember all those things, it will be very difficult to deal with the people in this birth, isn't it? Many people bother me saying, can you tell me who this child was in the last life? Or who I was in the last life? Who this was in the last life? I generally don't avoid, because if I tell you the truth, there will be so much of difficulty to deal with each other. Because in this life, you will not be able to play your roles properly. If you remember your previous roles in the previous drama and you are again cast in the next drama, you have to forget your previous roles, isn't it? Previous dialogues, and remember the new role and new dialogues. In the previous drama, you might have been cast as husband and wife, king and queen, let us say. But in this life, you might become mother and son. So you have to remember, if you start telling the dialogues of the last life, it will become a confusion on the stage. So what's the point in remembering what you did in the past? I always say that's idle curiosity. It doesn't take you very far. It's good to know that there was a past life and we all were there and we had done our own good and bad things because of which we are here. That much understanding is enough. What exactly I did, what exactly I was, who I was with, who was this person in my life. Shirdi Baba tells the story of a snake and a frog. In Shirdi Satcharita, you will read. They will be fighting with each other, who had lent money to each other or something, and they had been fighting in the previous lives, and because of that they were born again as a snake and a frog, and they are still fighting, he said. So he was telling the story of those two, snake and frog, some devotee. So we could have been animals also fighting over food. We don't know. What's the point? The point is, why waste time learning about what we did in the past? Rather spend the time in realizing the self and get over with it. So he says, when the knowledge dawns on such a person, everything looks like a drama, a dream to such a person. A good dream or a bad dream, whichever way it is. But it's a dream. It means that person does not get attached to it and does not insist that all that he is experiencing must be true. All that he desires must become true. Those ideas disappear. That's why Sarvan Soshnute Kama. All the desires are fulfilled at that very moment. Because what will you desire out of a dream, you tell me? In a dream, you can become a billionaire or you become a beggar. Both are not real. So such a person's attitude becomes like this. He looks at the whole world, the illusion of the whole world, like the illusions of a dream, and only gives so much importance to it. Does not get unnecessarily emotionally invested in anyone or anything. But imagine our plight, how emotionally we are invested in each other, in everything, in situations, in places, in people. How much emotions are there, stuck there. And then we are unable to withdraw. My child, my wife, my husband, my family, my office, my place, my birth city, my whatever other property, assets, relations. How much emotionally we have invested ourselves in that, because of which we suffer. But that is not true. The Jnani will see the world like a dream. And like we all know, when you wake up from the dream, you don't insist the dream should have been true. In the sense, whatever you earned in the dream is not going to be with you when you wake up, or whatever you lost in the dream is not going to be lost when you wake up. Janaka himself had a dream. You remember the story I told. He slept and dreamt that he had lost his kingdom and that he had become a beggar. And then he was begging for food in a forest and he was hungry and tired. And finally, he reaches a place where some people are serving some gruel and he begs there. And by the time he reaches, his turn comes, it's over. So they scrape the bottom of the vessel and give him some burnt gruel to eat. And just when he's about to eat that, an eagle comes and swoops in and steals away his food and drops it. So he goes hungry and tired and he cries, Aho, and falls on the floor and then wakes up in his bed. And then his wife says, what happened? You had a bad dream. He said, no, I saw that I had lost all the kingdom and I was a beggar begging for food. She said, no, that was a dream. You are a king. You are still the king. You are still here. I'm next to you. I'm your wife. We are in our palace. He says, how do you know this is not a dream? How do you know that that might have been the truth and this is the dream in which we are living? And wife does not know how to answer this question. So he keeps asking everybody, which was the dream and which was reality? Am I inside a dream right now being a king, or was that the dream? Or is this the reality? Which is which? So he gets very confused. And he asks everybody, all Gyanis in his court, tell me which was the dream and which is reality. Ashtavakra gives the answer. He says, in that dream also you were there, in this dream also you are here. This dream was not in that, and that dream is not in this dream. But you were common to both. So dreams are unreal. You, who are the dreamer, is real. And then he gets curious. What do you mean by you are real? Who was there in that dream as well as this dream? And then Ashtavakra explains that the self is experiencing everything like a dreamer sees the dream, and self remains unaffected. In one night, you may have many dreams, and those dreams might be of different types. In one dream, you might be a king, in the next dream, a beggar, in third dream, maybe a god, in fourth dream, maybe a sinner. But you are dreaming, when you wake up, you are none of these. So that is how he explains to that this is all dream, and don't give more importance to this than the importance that you will give to a dream. Only children insist, who do not understand that whatever happens in the dream does not happen in real. They wake up and ask, where is that toy I had in dream? And mother has to explain, that was in your dream. No, 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 that was the toy. You stole it away and now give me back. I was sleeping and you took it away. Then she will cry. The baby will cry. But mother has to go and explain. Baby won't listen. But after it grows up a little, then it realizes, "Oh, that was a dream." And asking of for things which we had in the dream is stupidity. It doesn't work that way. So imagine when agyanis or ignorant people who are living this dream and getting so attached, next business, next wife and children, next property, next travel, next excitement, next this, next that, also bad things, losses and pain and suffering and sorrow. They come to a guru. How should guru explain to them that you are unnecessary getting stuck with all your emotions? It is not real. But no, they won't listen. Like the child does not listen. No, my toy was there. I saw. You took it away when I was asleep. Somebody stole it. It's miserable. Then the mother says, "Oh, is it so? I think the toy, we will find out where it is. We will search for it." And they make some fake search just to satisfy the child. And after some time, the child forgets. Mother also keeps quiet. Like that, people come. My son is not studying well. My daughter is not getting married. My house is not getting constructed. My business is not doing well. Somebody is sick. Somebody is healthy. Somebody is unhappy. Somebody is happy. What should I tell all of them? Okay, let us see how we can become happy. Let us see how we can get your daughter married. Let us see how we can get your son to study better. Like the mother says, let us search for the toy that is disappeared after the dream. That's all a guru can do. More than what can I do for you? So people don't like me because they want miracles to happen. The toy should be found that never existed should be found. If the mother searches for the toy and doesn't find it, child is unhappy, then mother has no choice. Go buy a toy and give it to her, saying that, is this the toy that you've lost in the dream? But that is not reality. When you are full of ignorance, this drama can go on. Mother can do this drama, you can continue to insist. But after you grow up, you cannot do this drama anymore, isn't it? Then you realize that, oh, this is stupidity. Why am I asking for things from this world? This is unreal. That is why I say, Kastam koyam kutamayatah kame janani kome tatah iti paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishwam tyakta swapna vicharam. Adi Shankara says, think of the whole world as a dream and give it up. What is this running behind? Who is mother? Who is father? Who is brother? Who is sister? Who is spouse? Who are children? These are all a dream world. In the dream, all this looks real. But when you wake up, none of these exist. But you go wake up and insist that all these should have been existing, then you are stupid. That's all we can say. You are foolish. But because you are not ready to accept this, the Guru plays many tricks. And okay, we will search where that toy went and what happened to your dream things and all that stuff. But after some time, when the baby grows up, it says, it itself comes and tells the mother, Mother, I had a dream. In the dream, my birthday party was going on. A lot of people came with lot of gifts. But after telling about her dream, the girl does not insist, where are my toys and the gift that my friends gave on my birthday? She knows that was in a dream. When the real birthday will happen, then real toys and gifts will come. So that Jnanodaya has to happen. Once that Jnanodaya happens, that is what he's saying. When the Jnanodaya happens in this person, knowledge dawns. He sees the whole world as a dream. So does he continue to work, not continue to work? Does he run away? Does he stay? What does he do? Nothing. In a dream, what do you do? Dream is flowing by on its own. Do you decide what next happens in the dream? No, you just watch it like a movie and go through it with complete awareness that it's after all a dream. And even if you're not aware, when you wake up, you're aware that it was a dream. That is how Gyanis live in the world, is what it is saying. They let the world go by, whatever is happening, let it happen. But they don't get emotionally involved. And just in case they get emotionally involved, also quickly they are able to withdraw from it because they are aware. That is awareness, jnanam. So this jnanodaya, bodhodaya, when it happens in them, what do they look at? How do they look at the world around? As a dream only. And they don't insist upon fulfillment of their desires and their ideas and ambitions. Whatever comes is fine as per the dream. You have to sit and think about it a little. It doesn't just occur. It all theory sounds very good, but when you next time meet your wife or husband, look, this is my dream husband, this is my dream wife, these are my dream children, this is my dream property, this is my dream business, this is my dream ashram, this is my dream guru. All are in the dream only. You should watch that movie called Inception. I don't know how many you have watched. It's very Advaitic, very philosophical, that you can create a dream world and you are an architect of your own dream. So in that you can create a world, and you can go to sleep and start, you enter, your consciousness enters that dream world and does so many things. And how time also has been defined. The time in the dream is so fast, whereas in reality it is so slow. In a dream you go to Chennai and come back overnight. In reality you are still there. So very nicely that Inception movie was done. It's quite a nice thing. Of course, they changed a few things, but overall the idea was this: that you create worlds out of your own mind and start living in those worlds. And as long as you realize and come back, because they have some kind of a cue with which they can come back. Otherwise, they are lost in the dream. Like his wife, the protagonist's wife is lost, and she believes that she is in a dream, even though she is in reality. She doesn't accept, and she thinks that she has to get out of it, and that becomes a big mess. So that is the idea. The Jnani looks at the whole thing as a swapna, a dream, and does not become emotionally entangled with anything. Just watches it like a dream and lets it pass. The next shloka is on page number 89, which says, Arjayitva akhilanarthan bhoga napnoti pushkalan nahi sarva parityagam antarena sukhi bhavet. Arjayitva akhilanarthan. After having earned all the wealth and prosperity and everything that one desired in the world, bhogapnoti, bhoga, all kinds of pleasures in abundance, all variety, pushkalan, all kinds of variety of the pleasures having enjoyed. Nahi sarva parityagam antarena sukhi bhavait. Still he cannot become happy till he has given up everything from inside. Sarva parityagi. He should give up all desires for everything. Then only his inside becomes happy. When in the inside is empty of all the desires, that is when such a person becomes happy. So you think happiness comes from buy a bigger house, buy a bigger car, have more children, go for a foreign holiday. So many ways we define our happiness in the world. We think all this is happiness. It is pleasurable. Definitely there is some joy in it. Meeting good people, going around the world, seeing new things, eating tasty stuff. All kinds of things are happiness only. But that is not real happiness. Why? Because by definition, the truth should not change. But this happiness comes and goes. It does not stay forever. It doesn't remain forever. It means it is not pure happiness. It is not Brahman. It is something to do with body, senses, and the mind. That is why this happiness does not last. We are always miserable, and we chase after things. When somebody is got one small car, somebody gets a bigger car. I need the bigger car now to be happy a person. You get a bigger car, then you see the person has bought a bigger house. Now I need to have a bigger house to be happy, and we go on chasing these mirages. Endless. This is endless chase of happiness, like the Kasturi deer. The deer keeps searching for the fragrance in the forest. It runs everywhere madly, but does not find it. Not in half a kilometer, not in a kilometer. Nowhere. And finally it lies down tired and exhausted, and it turns its head towards its navel. It finds that this scent is coming from its own navel. It is its own body which is secreting that scent. Then it becomes satisfied. It doesn't run anymore. Likewise, we chase this dream happiness. And this is what he's saying. You enjoy as much world you want, as many pleasures you want, but you can never be truly happy. Because true happiness should last, should not diminish. It doesn't need continuous engagement. Once it comes, it should stay forever. What is that happiness? That is the happiness that comes when you have given up everything. Imagine, this is totally against the economic systems. Consume, 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 consume. That is the economic system. You will become happy. But I don't have money. Don't worry. Borrow and consume and be happy. And then what will happen one day? All this bubble will burst. All the happiness will disappear. So, what is the real happiness? Give up everything and then you will be happy. What do you mean? Give up house, give up family, give up wealth? Not physically, mentally give up everything. Be in the world, let the world not be in you. That is the method. Yeah, you have house, you have to keep some your head sheltered somewhere. You can't be roaming in the roads. Fine, but then buying something with so much of debt just to impress someone, or believing that you have got a bigger property so you'll be more happy, this is not how it works. This is not how it works. That clarity should be there. Of course, the sannyasis who are given up are extremely happy. Why? They have no taxes to pay, no bills to pay, no utilities to pay, no security to pay. Everywhere they're roaming happily. They have no care of the world. But that happiness is another kind. That is why our yesterday they were Bhajagovindam they're singing. Suramandir Taru Mula Nivasaha Shayya Bhutala Majinam Vasaha Sarva Parigraha Bhogatyagaha Kasya Sukham na Karoti Viragaha. The one who is, sleeping on the ground as its bed, and sky is the roof, and wears the bark of a tree for clothes, and begs for food and lives the life of a mendicant, giving up everything. Sarva parigraha. See, parigraha means to accumulate. Who accumulates? Only householders accumulate. Why? Because they have children to take care, then their families to take care, then their neighbors, they're this, they're that. So many relations to maintain and manage, gifts to give, gifts to receive, functions to attend, functions to invite people to. They have to hoard things. A sannyasi has no such problem. Sarva parigraha. This accumulation given up. Bhoga, enjoyment also is given up. Kasya sukham na karoti viraga. How can such a person not be happy? Who has no burden, no responsibilities. Such a person should be really happy. But can everybody live like this? No. Samsara also has to go on. So, you do what you have got to do, but don't be attached to it. You think you are a custodian, a trustee of everything. Everything belongs to God. Doesn't belong to you at all. You are living in a rented house. You will only decorate the house so much. We were always in quarters, right? Because my parents were government servants. So all the time we were moving from quarters to quarters. As you get promoted, you get bigger quarters. And then you have to shift. Then I was very fond. Mama, let's get this, let's get that. She'd say, these are all government quarters. Why should we spend money on decorating these? She would say. When we have our own house, we will decorate that. Why waste money on government quarters? I never used to understand what she was saying. But she was clever. She said, you're getting unnecessarily excited. After 3 years, they'll shift us to another quarter somewhere. Why modify this, renovate this and waste money? We will, when we build our own house, we will build it well. That clarity that I'm in government quarters, I'm being given this world to use only because I have a duty to perform. Once you don't have that duty, you lose every privilege that comes with it. You are the president, you get all the privileges. Once you are no more the president, you don't get those privileges. You are another citizen of the country. Likewise, all these privileges of life are all God given. Why? So that we can conduct ourselves, do our duty. What God wants us to do. You are a teacher, you need to have certain facilities, fine, use it. But don't own it, don't get attached to it. Tomorrow you insist that no, I am not going to give it up. I will be here only forever. I won't go of my chair or my apartment or my whatever other privileges. That won't be right. That will create confusion. So these people live a very detached life. They have everything, but they don't feel they own anything. They are acutely aware of the fact that these are all privileges, facilities given to me because I have some work to do in the world as per the divine destiny. And once it's done, it's all has to be given up. Your children have to be given up, family has to be given up, wealth has to be given up, the body itself has to be given up. You can't retain it any more than your time. So with that understanding, live in the world. It is the call of Tyaga. Means sacrifice doesn't mean give up everything. If you need to do, suppose I have to do my duty, I have to come every day and teach you this, and then go and look at whatever is happening around. I need certain things. I need to travel, I need to meet people, I need to have an office, I need to have a phone, I need to have certain facilities without which I cannot function. So to that extent, yes, You must utilize these things. But I don't own any of it. I'm very aware. I can't take one pin from here because nothing belongs to me. I don't own anything. Then the other fear. So once you retire, what will happen to you? Nobody will allow you to use any of it things. God put me here, gave me the privileges and facilities, gave me the work to do. I did it happily. Tomorrow God will put me elsewhere where I need to live accordingly. And then I'll continue. That is why brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas ashramas. Even the great king Bharata had to give up everything, distributed the kingdom between his four children, walked away to the forest all alone, and lived like a hermit. All our ancestors have done that. Only in recent times, nobody does this. But earlier, they had to just give up and walk away. How many of us have the courage to give up everything and walk away after having built an empire for our families? One fine day, drop the whole thing like a hot potato and say, "That's it. I'm leaving. I'm going to not God knows where. I'll be staying in the forest and fending things for myself, drinking from the flowing river, eating from the falling fruits. That's going to be my life." Do you want your ATM card? Do you want your internet password? None of these I require. I don't even need the phone. Keep it with you. Leave me alone. How many parents are courageous to do that? Nobody. That is why we don't grow spiritually. But our ancestors did that. They walked away even if they were kings. They had the courage to just walk away on one fine day, saying, "That's it. This is the end of everything. I don't need any of these things." Then how will you eat? Today things are much better. In those days, dark forests, wild animals, anybody could have eaten up. But if you're so afraid, then you can't be on the spiritual path. If you are going to forest only to preserve and protect your body from animals, then where is the detachment at all? You are attached only to the body. That's why you don't have the courage. Why we don't have the courage to give up, you tell me? Because we are attached to the body. Because we believe this body is real and this is all it is, and if this body dies, we die, and everything gets over with that. That fear does not allow us to give up anything. The moment you don't believe you are the body, you are the indweller, you don't care. You don't care about the body. So these Tyagis were like that. They don't care about the body afterwards. As long as it is needed, it is needed. It is like somebody who's going to the airport. They have to give up the taxi and get into the plane. You can't get attached to the taxi saying, "I don't want to give up the taxi. I want to go into the plane with the taxi." That's not possible. You have to get out of the taxi and catch the plane. That getting out is a very difficult task for us. We have got inside these bodies at some point in time at birth. Now getting out of the body is becoming difficult for us. But your journey cannot continue unless you give up this vehicle. So that clarity was there in our ancient people, in our sages and rishis, even kings and ordinary folks. They lived as per the principles of dharma, that at this point in time everything has to be given up. Yes, enjoy as long as it lasts. It needs to be used for some purpose, use it. After that, give it up. I travel to so many houses. I stay with so many people. They bring nice cars for me to travel. They bring me, they put nice things for me in the room. But I don't take all that and go around. That's it. For that 3 days, I stayed with them. I ate. I enjoyed. I talked to them. I did what I needed to do. I traveled in their car. I slept in their bedrooms. After it is done and dusted, you walk away. You don't carry even a pin from anywhere, right? So think like that. These people are extremely happy, not because they've enjoyed all the pleasures of the world, not that they've achieved all the ambitions and fulfilled all their desires. They're happy because they have no attachment to any of these things, even if they're there, or they don't have these things at all in the first place. If they don't need, they don't keep it. That's it. They don't need, it is not mine. It belongs to somebody who needs it. It doesn't belong to me. This idea, because Janaka is a king, he can't give up his kingdom and run away. He has to run the place. All people depend on him. So he should remain the king, yet not feel attached to his kingship. Third shloka is on page number 92, which says, Kartavya dukkha martanda jwala dagdhantaratmanah kutah prashama piyusha dhara saramrute sukham. Very beautiful idea. It says, Kartavyam dukkha martanda jwala dagdha antaratmanaha, which means this idea of doership. Kartavya means not duty, the doership of duty. I have to do this, I have to achieve this, I have to go there, I have to enjoy this, I have to do all this idea of doership, dukkha, the pain of it, of the doership is how martanda jwala dagdha, like you are burnt in the scorching sun. How do you feel when there is supreme heat? You are out and your body is getting scorched in that heat. A terrible burning sensation of the skin. So painful it is. Like that, in the doership, the sun of doership, the scorching heat of doership, your inside is all burnt. Inside means there's no happiness, peace, nothing left inside you. Why? This doership is causing that kind of burning inside. It is so, so painful. And then what is the antidote? Kutaha, prashama, piyusha dhara saramrute sukham. For such a person who is parched and burnt in the scorching heat of the summer sun, what is the relief for such a person? He drinks nectarine cold water. Piyusha dhara saramrute. He drinks the essence of the truth, which is the ultimate relief from the scorching heat and the pain of doership of the world. Once he drinks that prashama, that his pain is relieved, his suffering is relieved, and then sukham, he attains true happiness. So, other than that, what is the refuge? What is the relief? Ashtavakra is saying, for those who are suffering with the doership of the world, I am the father, I need to look after my children, they need to grow well, they need to achieve this much, they must stand on their feet, they must earn their money, they must get good name, they must, so much of doership and burden. Or I am a businessman, I need to run this, I have to pay this, I'm going this way, that way. Or a wife, or a child, or anybody. The amount of doership we suffer from, it is like getting scorched in the summer sun. So the idea is that the pain of doership is akin to the burning pain of the skin in hot summer sun. That is how Ashtavakra is comparing. And what is the refuge? What is the relief of this? Cold nectarine water of the truth, that you are not the doer. That is the Amruta. That is the nectar. That is the ambrosia. And that will give you the Sukham, joy or peace or relief. Now think about your doership. Every time you got into doership, how much suffering was that to you and to others around you also? I have gone through it. Initially, my doership was very high. Doership not from negative point of view that I am doing so everybody should worship me. No, from the point of view guilt. I am not able to do enough. I may not be able to do justice to this job given to me. I'm incapable. I'm insufficient. That fear, that pain, that is also doership only. Doership is not only the ego and arrogance that come from achieving. Oh, I'm doing so much favor to everybody. Everybody should fall at my feet. How can they not respect me? How dare they not worship me? This is one side of doership. The other side of doership, I am not capable. I am insufficient. I am incapable of this. I am unable to do this. The guilt that kills you of the doership. And then, of course, the joys of success and the pain of the failures that come out of doership. All this is like burning in the hot sun. What can you do about it? The only way is get rid of doership. How can you get rid of doership? Only when you realize you are the self, you are not the doer. Things are done through you. Like a machine, like an instrument. It does not have doership. If they're playing the harmonium is not going to be blamed. Of course, if it is not tuned properly, whoever is made the harmonium will be blamed. But poor harmonium has no fault of its own. Then if your player is not good, he's playing wrong notes, and if he's doing that, that is not the problem of harmonium. Harmonium is not going to suffer with doership. Oh, terrible song came out of me. Now nobody is going to like me anymore. Nobody is going to play on me. Nothing is going to happen with harmonium. Also, if it becomes a good song and play something beautiful comes out of it, all the credit goes to some to the harmonium. Of course, it's a nice read and nice sound, but ultimately the credit goes to the player. Likewise, the doership comes to those who feel they are the ones who are doing and they suffer with this doership. But then you people ask, give me promotion, give me responsibility. That is what is growth in life. If you keep doing the same thing, then you get bored. You want new challenges, new positions, new posts, new promotions. Take all of it if you are capable of not having the doership. Otherwise, your suffering will only increase. You ask for more work, ask for more responsibility, you're asking for more trouble. But do we really feel it? No, doership comes in. I am doing it for God. I am doing it for society. I am sacrificing. I am serving. That kills you. And that problem, whether it is worldly or spiritual, both sides doership should not be there. If it comes in, it kills you from inside. It's like you are getting burnt in the scorching summer heat. A beautiful song. When I was small, there used to be a group called Sharma Bandhu, four brothers. They used to sing this song and quite famous in the north side. And someday you should learn and sing. Simple song. It says, सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम. As when the man is suffering in the hot sun, सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन, burning sensation of the body, when he finds a shade of the tree, where he gets some relief in the hot desert land, so much of heat. One little shade of a tree gives so much of relief. I have found that kind of joy when I came to you, O Lord Rama. Rama means, so the divine, when I took refuge at your feet, I felt that relief. Till then, I am enjoying. This is because of me, that is because of me. This is going on and on. The moment you come to God, surrender your ego, let God take over from there. That relief is equivalent to the relief that a man in the desert finds under the shade of a tree. It's beautiful. And it said, Sheetal bane aag chandan ke jaisi. The fire also becomes cool like sandalwood. Raghav kripa ho jo teri. If your blessings are there, it means if that divinity dawns within, even the heat of the world also feels like cool sandal paste. उजियाली पूनम सी हो जाए रातें जो थी अमावस अंधेरी. All our my nights which were dark like Amavasya on a new moon, like that I was living in darkness. Suddenly it has become like Purnami, like a full moon night. Everything has become bright only by your grace. And युग युग से प्यासी मरुभूमि ने जैसे सावन का संदेश पाया. Like the desert land which was waiting for rain to happen but never happened, it was burning in the heat. When it gets the first showers, the relief it feels, means soil does not feel relief, the animals, the birds, the relief that they feel, that is the relief I have felt when you have graced me, O Lord, without which I was just roaming in this desert land of the world, getting scorched, burnt, and suffering without any end. But the moment you blessed me, the relief has come. I have been able to overcome this grief that comes to it, comes because of this. सूरज की गर्मी से जलते हुए तन को मिल जाए तरवर की छाया, ऐसा ही सुख मेरे मन को मिला है, मैं जब से शरण तेरी आया मेरे राम. This is the song. I learnt it as a small kid and it stayed with me because truly the world is like a desert. It looks very good and the mirages of water, they are not real. This running behind happiness in the world is like running after the mirages. You feel you'll going to get to drink something, but when you reach there, it disappears. So don't chase after this world, and doership is one of those terrible things. Don't run after doership. So this doership is something that all of youngsters especially, please get rid of it. And how do you know doership is happening inside you? You will feel that heat inside. You'll feel that fever. You'll feel that restlessness, that pain. If not, then very cool, you'll be very cool inside. You'll be quiet and peaceful and cool. But if you're not quiet and peaceful, there is so much of agitation and what you call heat inside you, then you know that you're suffering with the disease of doership. That is the diagnosis. Fourth shloka on 95 page, it says, Bhavoyam bhavana matro na kinchit parmarthatah nastya bhava swabhavanam bhava abhava vibhavinam. It's beautiful Sanskrit using the word bhava in different ways. Ashtavakra, the great poet, conveys such a beautiful message. He says, Bhavo ayam bhavana matro. This bhava means this existence that you feel that it really exists, like the mirage in the desert. It feels it exists, like the dream world, it feels it exists. It is bhavana matraha, it is only your imagination. Bhavaha means the existence. I am this one. Bhavana matra, it's only your imagination, your kalpana, bhavana, your feeling, your emotion, your imagination. It is not real. Then na kinchita. This is not really there. All this is not, does not exist at all, anything at all, paramarthatah, in the highest reality. In the highest reality, these are all illusions, they don't really exist. Then nastya abhavaha swabhavanam, because for the swabhavanam, the one who is established in the feeling of the self, bhava means feeling, swabhava means self feeling, the one who is established in the self, na asti abhavaha, there is no dearth of anything. Everything is self for such a person. He sees self only in everything. The world is only an imagination to such a person. And bhava abhava vibhavinam, because he can see through this drama of existence or non existence of the world. He can, like a person who is half awake and still dreaming, he can see through the dream. Happens sometimes, isn't it? We are dreaming, but we know that we are dreaming. But somehow we are not able to come out of the dream. That is the problem. We want to come out, but we cannot come out. So we are like involuntarily dreaming it. We are stuck there. But at least we are aware that we are in a dream. It is not real. That's good enough. So, how these people live? They are established in their self and look at the whole world and see through this duality of it is there or it is not there. Like the dream. In a dream, you become a billionaire, you won a lottery. But somehow you know that you are dreaming, so you are not able to fully enjoy that dream. Can you enjoy the dream when you know this is not real? You cannot fully enjoy it, right? You cannot fully get emotionally invested in that dream. Likewise, these people exist. They see the world, they feel the world, they experience the world, but they don't get entangled, they don't get invested in it because they're aware, they're established in their self swabhava, and they're aware this is just a drama, this is just a dream, and only so much we should get into that, not more than that. Because if we get in more into that, we'll unnecessarily suffer the emotions of it, which is not necessary because it doesn't exist. Why should I get emotionally invested and suffer? So that is the idea. These people are like half awake, half asleep. That's why if you see Samadhi Avastha, if you see all these gods and goddesses and yogis, eyes will be half open, half closed in meditative state. It is this significance is this. They're half in the world, means they experience the world, but they don't get invested in the world. Because they're also other side established in the self. But that awareness with which one runs the world, one deals with life, is the way of Gyanis. So if you ask how do Gyani deal with the world, how do Gyanis live, this is how they live. They live in the world, they do everything, but deep inside they're completely aware this is just a drama. Beyond this, we should not give importance to this world. And all the worldly relations and achievements, everything is only to be given so much importance and not more than that. Thus far, not further. That is their method of living. Very, very clever they are. They appear to be like ordinary people getting emotional, involved, entangled, enjoying or suffering along with everybody. But they are not. Like they are very good dramatists, they are very good actors. On the stage, they make you believe that they are real, that character is real. But deep inside, they know this is just an acting. And next thing happens, I will take another role, I will put on another costume and I will make up and I will deliver another set of dialogues. And he will get an award only if he can do justice to every of these roles that he takes up. Some people get stereotyped, they become mothers, they remain mothers only in all the movies. Or they become friend of the hero, they remain friend of the hero in all the movies. They get stereotyped. But these actors are so good, one day they can be the friend, one day they can be enemy of the hero, third day they can be the hero themselves. They are so good at doing what they're doing. That is why these Gyanis are always acting in the world. They appear to be emotional and suffering, but they are only acting. Acting in the sense they act so well that it appears that they are really going through it. But inside they know this is just a costume, makeup, drama, and dialogues. I am inside free from all these things. Maybe for a moment, emotions, they might kind of be touched by it a little. But quickly they withdraw, they quickly can retreat from there. Whereas others' problem is once they get involved in that role, they just can't come out of the role. They start living that role forever. They become that. That's not right. That's not right, is what is being said. So think of all your life as playing roles, as brothers, sisters, husbands, wife. Yesterday, Dr. Devi, such a beautiful thought. She said, when I went to the wards, she deals with geriatric care. Many of them are elderly, maybe terminally ill. And she saw all these are divine beings playing the role of a sick body at this point in time. And I am also a divine being playing the role of a healer or a doctor. immediately emotional investments go away. Otherwise, a doctor can get very emotionally attached to the patients, or patients get overtly dependent on the doctors. And that makes the job very difficult because you're emotionally attached. If you're not emotionally attached, only you can do your job properly, honestly. Without emotions, only you can do. So that when she was mentioning, it occurred to me how practical. Look at everything as everybody is doing a drama. All are souls only, but doing various roles. And that way, if you look at the world, you won't get emotionally entangled, but you'll enjoy the moment. Like an actor enjoys the stage, enjoys this whole thing. But what he's really enjoying is the acting, not the emotions of the acting. Actor is enjoying the very fact that he has got an opportunity to act in the drama. He's not emoting and becoming involved in that action. He's only presenting another character to the world. And his joy is to present it correctly, completely, perfectly. Beyond that, he doesn't get involved at all. So that idea. And when the next role comes, he's very quickly is able to switch over to the next role. Why? Because he's only interested in acting. He's not interested in the character. He's interested in the acting part of it, not the character part of it. So he doesn't insist, I will be the same character in every drama. I don't want to take up any other role. They don't do that. Because their joy comes from being on the stage and acting out a character. Like that, these Gyanis are. Their joy is only to act out their character given by the divine. Beyond that, they are not invested emotionally. So tomorrow, if divine tells them, okay, this is enough, I have thought of another drama, I want to cast you as another actor, another drama, are you ready? Of course, I'm ready. Oh, you'll have to learn new dialogues, you have to put on new makeup, you have to develop new way of walking, talking. No problem, I will do it. You should see these actors who won these Oscars and all that. What all they do, they lose weight like crazy, and then they put on weight for another role next time because they want to really live the character. They were neither attached to the character where the weight was less or nor attached to the character where weight was more. They were only attached to their skill of acting. They were not attached to the characters. And for both, they will win awards. They're happy with it. That is how one should be in the world. You can mold yourself to the situations as need necessary, just to deliver the one role that God has given you. But beyond that, you are not attached. You will easily withdraw. So the idea is that you should be able to withdraw quickly. As quickly as you enter, you should be able to withdraw also as quickly as that. Once you enter and don't know how to exit, then there is a problem. That is why Gyanis don't even enter. Their one leg is outside, one leg is inside always. So they are always aware, if I need to quit, I'll just quit this way. But ours, both legs go inside and they don't come out again. So they live in between the two worlds. You can think of them like that. They're half awake, half asleep. And then when they're dreaming, they're completely aware that they're dreaming. So they are not emotionally totally invested in that. But this buddhi will not come to Agyanis. Agyanis, why it won't come to? Because they start believing that it is real. And how much ever you tell them, they don't agree. So this whole idea that bhavana matra, all this is just illusion, but the one who is established in swabhava, that is the atma bhava, for them this bhava or abhava of the world does not matter. Whether this world is there or not there, it doesn't matter. Today they are friends, tomorrow they are enemies, doesn't matter. Today there is gain, tomorrow it's loss, doesn't matter. That is the kind of idea that has been conveyed over here. One more shloka will take up. 18.5, it says, Na duram na cha sankochat labdha mevatmanah padam nirvikalpam nirayasam nirvikaram niranjanam. Beautiful four words he has given about the self. He says, Na duram na cha sankochat. It is not something that is far away from you, nor it is something that is near you. Labdham evatmanah padam. Once you realize this that you are the self. It is not something that is far or it is not something near. It is not something that is big or it is not something that is small. These ideas of attaining the self is wrong. You are that. So that is how you know it. Not by going somewhere you know it. Or not by not going somewhere you know it. You know it by being it. That is the idea. So what is the nature of it? Nirvikalpam. There is no thoughts in it, no decision making. Can you decide, I don't want to be divine? No, you can't. You are bound to be divine. You have no choice. You are choicelessly divine. That is the rule. No, I don't experience my divinity. That is a choice you have made. But are you divine or not? There is no question about, no doubt that you are divine as you are. With all the wrongdoings, shortcomings, faults, all the things that are not so divine in you, still you are divine, is what Ashtavakra is saying. You have no choice. You're born divine. That is how you are made. You cannot choose not to be divine. Not given. The choice is never given to you. The what choice you are exercising is to agree that you are divine or not divine. That's all. You are born a man. You have to be, you know it by being that, right? How can somebody tell you whether you are a man or a woman? You know it because you are that. That is the idea. That you are that. Once you know that, there is nowhere to go and nowhere not to go. It means not to run away from the world or not to get over entangled in the world. Both are not necessary. You are that. Once you realize that, what happens? Nirvikalpam. Without any choice, you become the self. Then nirayasam. Without any effort, you become the self. Nirvikaram. Without any modifications of good, bad, you become the self. Niranjanam. Without any idea of sin or merit, you become the self. How beautiful, isn't it? The self he has described in four ways. One, there is no choice. Without choice, like some people say, I choose a spiritual life. That is stupidity, is saying. You are already spiritual. There is nothing like choosing to be spiritual. You are not realizing it, that is your problem. Like somebody who's forgotten where he kept his wallet. Has he become poor? No, he still owns the money. But where is the wallet? He doesn't know. To that extent, he is poor. But he's actually rich only. He has not lost the money. He has only kept the wallet somewhere which he has forgotten. And once he finds it, he'll be able to use the money. But right now, he's not able to use the money only because he has not lost his wallet, but he has forgotten the wallet at home or somewhere. That is the idea. Nirvikalpam means you don't have a choice to be divine. For now, you might have forgotten to be divine, but it does not mean that you are not divine anymore. You always are, will be, and were divine only. Nirayasam. And what kind of effort does it require to you to become yourself? What kind of effort it takes for you to become, suppose you are a man, how much effort it is to become a man? No effort. You are that, then what is the effort required? To become a father, it takes an effort. Become a teacher, it will take an effort. To become a friend, it will take efforts. To become a singer or a player, it will take efforts. But to be the man, you don't need any efforts. To be a woman, you don't need efforts. To be a mother, efforts. To be a daughter, some efforts. To be a wife, efforts. To be a friend, some effort you have to put. But to be the woman that you already are, what efforts do you need to put? So nirayasam, without any effort, you are divine. Effortlessly divine. First is choicelessly divine. Second is effortlessly divine. The third is nirvikakaram. Nirvikaram, there are no changes. So I was divine on Monday, Tuesday I became undivine. Wednesday I'll become divine again. Can changes happen like that? No. You are changelessly divine. You cannot change from this original state of divinity. It appears that you have changed. Like gold appears to have changed into a bangle or a chain or a ring. But has gold disappeared? No. Like that, though changes are happening on the outside, someday you are in good mood, someday in bad mood, someday something happens nice, someday something does not happen. All these are on the surface, these are waves. Ocean has not changed, waves have changed. Likewise, you are changelessly divine, nirvakaram. And fourth is niranjanam, sinlessly divine. You have no sins, nothing can touch you. No, but I have committed so many horrible things. That is not the divine in you which is touched by that. That is the mind and on the surface, like the waves. That has happened. But the ocean has not changed at all. Even though you are the greatest of the sinner on earth, yet you are divine. Who can assure us like this? Tell me. Who can make us feel so positive about ourselves? All the scriptures, even Hindu scriptures, you are a papi, you need to do parihara. Whole thing runs on that. The punya, papa, swarga, narka. This is how they control the mindset of people. Oh, you've done so much of sin, now you have to do so much of things to redeem yourself of it. You will go to narka, and then they'll boil you in hot oil, and then do when Garuda Purana is there, you should read that. Levels of hells are there, and each hell, what is the torture? But I was wondering, when there is no body, what are they torturing there? What will they fry? Because body is left behind here only, no? So what are they frying? Your soul? No, it is just a symbolic way say that you will go through that, like he said, no, the scorching sun and the pain that comes from it, that is equivalent to the pain of doership. Like that. Those hells which are symbolically telling you this is the kind of pain that you will undergo. So this idea here also, but all this Ashtavakra rejects. He says you are sinless. It means ultimately you are free from all these things. Apparently, yes, you are entangled in all this. But ultimately you are free. Then how do I live in that state? You live in that state only if you believe in that state. If you don't believe, you cannot live in that state. Our problem is we don't truly, completely, entirely believe in that. We are only theoretically believing. Entirely, we don't believe in. That's why we don't experience it. See, do you believe that you are a man? Yes, because I am a man, I know it. I am being a man, so I know it. There is no need for anybody to tell me you are a man. You don't need to tell me. I don't need a proof. Are you alive? If I ask you, what will you answer? No, I died a minute ago. Then this is my ghost talking to you. You are alive. That's why you're talking. That's why you're listening. That's why you're responding. I don't need to do an experiment on you to prove that you are alive. It's like that Ashtavakra is saying. You are divine. I don't need to prove to you that you are divine. You are effortlessly divine. You are choicelessly divine. You are changelessly divine. You are sinlessly divine. Only thing you don't believe in it. So you behave differently. Like the lion cub lost in the sheep's flock believes that he is a sheep and behaves like a sheep. But once he realizes it is not a sheep, he is also a lion, his behavior changes. So if you think you are the samsari with all the family and relations and burdens of responsibilities and the emotions that come with, then suffer. Who can change you? You like the lion cub, you will keep running away here and there out of fear. Keep living in fear. What can we do about him? But the truth of all truths is that you are divine as you are. This is the greatest assurance of Sanatana Dharma. Even the worst of the Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma Shashwat Shantiri Gacchati. Krishna says, the one, even the greatest, the sinner becomes a Dharmatma like that just in believing me. If he believes in me, means Krishna not as a physical Krishna, as the self. The one who believes in that immediately attains, becomes Dharmatma. Apicheta Suduracharo, he says, who has committed worst of the sins also. Bhajante Mam Ananya Bhak, who worships me with complete devotion. Such a person becomes Dharmatma, he says. Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma. And Shashwat Shanti Nigacchati. He attains highest peace. And Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashyati, he says. Oh Kaunteya, Arjuna, declare it to the world that my devotee never perishes. My devotee means the one who is established in the self, Krishna consciousness. Such a person has no suffering, no death. Never perishes means will he not die? Will he live forever? No. Body will die, but he doesn't die. He has understood the truth. That is the idea of Kaunteya Pratijani. He Name Bhakta Paranishati. Most of the people take refuge in this shloka by saying, oh, if you are devotees of Krishna, no losses will happen in life, no problems will come in life, no sorrows will touch us. No, all this will come, you will remain untouched. That is the idea. All this will come. Don't think spirituality is a bed of roses. That you come to a guru and all problems of life will disappear like dews in this morning sun. No. It will remain, but you remain unaffected by all this. That is the idea of why you are changeless, choiceless, sinless, effortless in being divine. That is it. So any effort in life, any change in life, any mood swings, you are deviating from the original self of divinity. That's how I told your alarm bells should ring. The moment you behave different from the peaceful, happy, joyful person that you truly are. The moment there is a deviation, anger, frustration, upset, agitation, depression, all complaints, anything that changes, you know that you are somehow deviated from that. Immediately there should be an alarm that should go off in your head and remind you, no, go back to your original self. Go back to your original self. This practice you must do.